This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Looks like we have Terry in our class. Good morning to you. Can you unmute your mic for me, Terry?
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good, good. We're gonna wait for a couple more people, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Where are you? Where are you logging in from?
Logging in from Alpharetta, Georgia.
Oh, from Georgia. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. How's the weather out there?
it's actually a really beautiful day. Yeah, it's nice and sunny, not too hot and humid, and just getting off to a great start.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, we're located in Maryland, so it's been rainy the last couple of days, but today looks like it's gonna be a pretty good one. So
Yeah, I'm familiar. We actually relocated to this area from Maryland, lived in Laurel, Maryland.
oh,
Yeah, you lived there. My husband graduated from the University of Maryland. So,
yeah, I'm very familiar with Laurel. I actually I live in Millersville. Uh,
yes.
I used to actually run a camp, a boot camp it was close to Laurel. It was in Jessup, actually.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Yes.
It was at the soccer dome. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but that's right at that border between Jessup and Laurel. So,
In Laurel. Okay.
right,
Yes.
very familiar. So, do you guys run a studio now, or in Georgia, or what is it that you guys do?
No, I actually am in the industry. After being home full time, I didn't want to return to the industry that I was formerly in, and got into fitness. Very well networked in this area. We've been here since 2006.
Oh, okay.
Got in the industry as an instructor, and then from there, I do manage a fitness center, but it's corporate wellness, on-site, worksite wellness,
Yeah,
and but unfortunately, due to COVID, we are still active, but not on site. So it's
gotcha.
virtual content, and then recently certified as a trainer through NASM, and so it's things are picking up, and I thought I have to be very streamlined and
Sure.
clean, just for my personal standard.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Once you start to kind of expand into the virtual space, and it was clearly by circumstance and more than anything. But once you start to expand into the virtual space and you really get an opportunity to kind of get a feel for it,
Hmm.
it's really interesting how much more and how much faster you can expand your opportunities because there's no logistical barrier. That's the
Ah,
best part of right now. You know, we're confined by logistics because the people that we trained in person were either individuals that we could get to or people that could get to us. But
mhm.
now that's not the case, and we're finding that out, kind of just by the luck or misfortune of COVID. So it's
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
agree. The company I'm with actually literally expanded their entire virtual platform. Like it's literally a new arm
Mhm.
of the
Yeah.
company.
Yep. And many companies are being forced to, whether it's, I mean, if they have the ability to provide those services virtually, everyone is learning a new way to deliver their
Hmm.
services and content. So it's I mean, it's virtual is a space that, for the longest time was really only thought of as something that, few people would need for certain things, but now we're finding out how many different areas it kind of taps into.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It's like we have Lysandra with us. Lysandra, are you there? Can you unmute your mic, Lysandra?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Looks like we just have Terry with us today. We'll give it a couple of more minutes, and if not, then maybe we'll change the dynamic of this presentation. So
Okay.
yeah. So Lysandra, have you had an opportunity to talk to Lysandra yet, Terry?
I'm not sure. I did speak with someone maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I had questions. It's very new for me, just how to really navigate the dashboard. I had the trial, the 14-day, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it was Lysandra or someone else. I don't remember.
I think it might have been Liesel, but I'm actually checking right now to see who you met with.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I think it was.
Liesel, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So she went through a demo with you? Did you get to see the platform and everything?
Yes, she sure did. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Did you have any follow-up questions while we're kind of waiting?
And I really thought just being a part of the webinar would expand my understanding. I have questions. I don't necessarily fully know what they are at the moment. I think what I will have to do is get started, and sort of learn along the way a little bit of how everything operates. But I think I have enough understanding to get started.
We can always meet with you again and, help you get set up if you have specific questions or just want guidance. We can always do another meeting too.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Actually, I had a couple of questions for you, Terry. So about how many clients do you currently facilitate?
5.
5? Okay.
Yep, and they're local. And the reason I even considered we're meeting in person with mask and everything, but because I'm well networked across the U.S., I have relationships. They're wanting to start virtually as well. So sure, I could do a FaceTime or Zoom. I just wanted something that was really tailored for trainers, just to handle that process a little bit differently than what everyone's doing.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And the reason why I asked that question is when you think about kind of the virtual space, it looks like we have someone else logging in, but I don't see their name. Give me 1 second, Terry. If you just logged in, it looks like Major Bat Walton. Looks like we have a few more people coming in. Okay, awesome. So Terry, what I'll do is I'll circle back with you, and we'll go ahead and get started with the webinar, and then we'll kind of touch base on the back end.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, guys. Well, good morning and happy Saturday. I'm sure many of you are logging in from a number of different locations, but first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Donovan Cox. I'm one of the co-founders of Jimgo, and I want to welcome you to the platform. Many of you, or some of you, may have had an opportunity to go through the demo, which is the case for Terry. Some of you may not have. So if you haven't, this is an opportunity to do 2 things. One, to learn a little bit about how the platform can benefit you in the virtual space. And then the second part is for you to learn a little bit about the features that our platform has to offer. So with that said, I notice everyone has their mic on mute, and I appreciate that. If you could, for the purposes of the webinar, please keep them on mute. After we finish the presentation, then we will open it up to questions. So please write your questions down so you don't forget them. And then at the end, we will go through everything to make sure we answer those questions for you, okay? So with that said, oops. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is what this webinar will cover. So we will cover who we are. So first, I want you to know exactly who Jimgo is, how long we've been around, what you can accomplish with the platform. why some virtual studios are unsuccessful. I think this is important because when we talk about success in the virtual space, there are certain things that we may be doing that we may not even be aware of that are making it a little more difficult for us to kind of transition into that space. So we're going to learn about that. And then how you can achieve virtual studio success. So if we're going to talk about the things that are potential challenges for us, then we're going to talk about the opportunities that come from those challenges that can create success. And then obviously your virtual studio earning potential. This is probably the most important thing because again, I am sure if many of you are like me, I got into this industry because obviously I wanted to help people, but I also wanted to be able to make a living too. So you want to have some level of balance between obviously helping people achieve their goals and also being able to support yourself effectively. So we want to talk about that potential as well. So first thing is who we are. Gymgo is an interactive platform created by fitness professionals for fitness professionals. So this is not something that just kind of came out of the tech industry and it was like, here you go. The reason why it has so many different features in it that are specific to us is because we are the ones that created it. So when I had the concept of creating Gymgo, it was a very simple thought process, which is if I can provide my services to individuals in person, is there anything that would hinder me from being able to provide that same level of quality and experience to a client virtually? And this thought process came around in 2015. That's when I first started thinking about the concept. And luckily at the time, I was able to connect with one of my clients and we kind of pulled our resources together. He actually brought in a lot of the business acumen that was necessary in order for us to build the company, and here we are. We help fitness professionals develop and secure branded profit center that will generate revenue. So the one thing that I want you to keep in the back of your mind throughout this presentation is that this is an opportunity for you to create a new profit center. And if you think about it as a new profit center, then you will think about it as a business. If you're thinking about it as just a way to supplement what you provide until things settle down, and that's okay. If you're just looking at it to provide a service to your clients until your brick and mortar gets back up and running, that's fine, but you may be missing an opportunity to create a totally separate profit center through virtual itself, because there's so many different opportunities that come from that. So simply put, we provide the technology and process, you deliver the services, and you ultimately make money. Now, with that said, there is a quote by Mindy Hale that I absolutely love, and the quote is, "Change can be scary, but what is scarier is allowing fear to stop you from growing, evolving, and progressing." A lot of times, and I want you to think about this, a lot of times the things that prevent us from really expanding our horizon or building our business is just basic fear, right? Fear of change. And it's hard to change. There are a lot of new things that you have to learn that are part of change. So that can be a scary thing to face. But right now, we are all in a situation where we have to face it. Because I can tell you in our industry, this is where we are going. I can tell you if you have thoughts that we are going to fall back to where we used to be, that is probably not going to happen. Similar to how our lifestyles have changed and will probably change for the foreseeable future, this industry is changing because now, even when we have the opportunity to potentially reopen our businesses and things of that nature, people are more reluctant to come in because they have a fear of COVID-19, and rightfully so. So that is why it is necessary for us to think about things that will allow us to maintain and even grow our business by utilizing technology to do so. And it's something that we have to be willing to adapt to. All right, so what can you accomplish with Gymgo? So possibilities are endless, and the reason why they are is because we built it that way. So brand identity. Right now you're seeing the Gymgo colors, which are the black, green, and white. But in our system, as many of you may have already experienced when you went through your demo, you can brand it in whatever brand or business logo or branding you have. So your clients won't see Gymgo, they'll see you. And that was very important to us because we understood through feedback that we received that people wanted to be able to have this personalized to their business. Business growth. The one thing I'll tell you in relation to business growth is there's no logistical barriers. Terry and I were talking about this before the rest of you came on, that when you think about it from a virtual standpoint, you no longer have the barrier of the geographical kind of boundary. When you're going to a client or a client's coming to you, you're restricted. But in virtual, you can see a client in London, you can see a client in New York, you can see a client in Texas, all at the same time, all on a virtual platform. And that really, just by the way that it's set up, allows you to expand your growth or expand your business. Comprehensive client management. Now, as your business grows and the potential for scaling is amazing, you want to have the ability to manage your client load as well. It's one thing if you have 10 clients, right? And you're managing 10 clients. Those are pretty easy. But then once you start to expand into virtual, that 10 will easily turn into 25 or 35 or 45 or 50 or 100. And then the next thing you know, you're trying to figure out how to manage that. And unfortunately, other virtual options where you can train on don't have the ability for you to manage your clients, take payments, check-ins, all that stuff's not possible, but we have that on our platform. And then scheduling freedom. So again, in a virtual environment, you will have scheduling freedom. You will have the ability to create more time for yourself and still be able to grow your business. And I'll give you an example. So right now, I teach 4 classes a week. In those 4 classes, I have a maximum capacity of 250 clients. I can have 250 clients in a single class. So what that means is that I can expand those single classes to 250 potential revenue opportunities without having to increase the number of hours that I work in a day. So it's still only 4 hours, but I'm increasing to 250 people. Now, keep in mind, that is a one-way virtual option similar to a Peloton where it's still live, but they can see you, you can't see them. But again, the ability for growth is huge. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're thinking about virtual as well. And we'll talk about that as we get towards the end. So why are some virtual studios unsuccessful? We've got a few reasons actually why they are. Specifically, we've got 8. So the first is lack of know-how. If you are not familiar with a virtual environment and you are learning how to how to navigate, then being committed to the process is going to be important. So lack of know-how is understandable, but it is also at times used as an excuse as to why we won't proceed forward, and we can't do that if we want to be successful. Failure to embrace and adopt the right technology. Having the right technology is extremely important. Internet speed, the right type of device to teach the course on, microphones, music, all of that's important. Failure to invest in hybrid vertical growth. Now, remember I said this has the ability to become a separate profit center for you. So you have your live brick and mortar, and we're not saying that you have to replace that, not at all. We're saying that you can have a separate virtual option. So I'll give you an example really quick. So let's say that you have a studio, and in that studio, you teach a Zumba class or a kickboxing class or something along those lines. So when you open up the studio, people may be very reluctant to come in there and actually take a class. But if you put them into a virtual environment, you got a camera in the studio, now they don't have to come back. So one, you're still able to teach the course effectively to your clients, but 2, you also have the ability to provide them the safety and convenience of being able to do it from home. And then the third most important thing is that you don't lose the client, right? So ultimately what we want to do is maintain what we have and potentially grow from there. We don't want to see a reduction. We want to see an increase in this environment. Failure to learn how to be an effective online fitness instructor. Again, effective fitness instructors, they have to learn the process of teaching online. Failure to manage time effectively and efficiently. If you're doing, again, online and in person, then you have to learn how to manage that so you don't find yourself being overloaded. Failure to keep it simple. Again, it doesn't have to be an extremely complicated process. You want to keep it as simple as possible by making sure that you know exactly what it is that you need to be doing in order to effectively execute your goal. Failure to leverage current clients and utilize a referral process. You guys know as well as I do, that this is a referral business. Terry, I know you're out there and I know you can't talk, but I'm gonna refer to you because we just had a conversation. Right now, you talked about five clients of yours, right? So those 5 clients of yours have the ability to each refer 1 client. And by referring that 1 client from anywhere around the globe, you have automatically taken those 5 clients to 10 clients. So now those 5 clients have the ability to refer a person. So now you've taken those 5 to 15, and then 15 goes to 20, and before you know it, you've gone from 5 clients to 50 clients in a very short period of time, because all it takes is them having a good experience in a virtual environment and being willing to refer you as an instructor to someone else, because they don't have to worry about travel. And that's the part that I think is the most important. And then failure to utilize social media as marketing tools. Social media has completely changed the way that we market, right? We can market just about anything on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. So now you have the ability to market your services in that same type of environment. All right, so how do we achieve success? All right, most importantly, the first thing, and these are just very simple business strategies, not just virtual strategies, but business strategies. So the same thing you're hearing me talk about now are some of the same things that are applied in a business environment when you're growing your own business, your brick and mortar. So first thing, define your goals, motivation, and commitment. When we got into this industry, we were excited. And as I said earlier, some of that excitement was around the fact that we wanted to help people become healthier and change their lives. But then we also recognized that we can make money doing it. So having that same level of excitement around training your clients virtually is just as important. You've got to be motivated to do this. All right, evaluate your current business reality. That is what we are being forced to do right now. Right now, many of us are, again, in a position where COVID has changed our business reality. Things that we took for granted that were always going to be available to us, or that we would always be able to do, are no longer the case. So now we have to be able to meet our clients where they are. Before, we had our clients come to us, but now we have to be able to meet them where they are, because a lot of them are reluctant to be in that environment because of fear. So let's bring our services to them. Create a strategy and business plan and an action plan. Just like you created a business plan to start the business you currently have, you need to create that same level of intent around the business plan that you create for your virtual. You need to have a plan as to how you're going to make this occur. You need to be able to check in with that plan. Ensure you have proper hardware set up to attain seamless client interaction and functionality. Again, I talked about internet speed, having the right devices to train on, a good camera, a good microphone, making sure that you're staging your space properly. A lot of times you can set up a perfectly good studio inside of your home. You just have to stage it so that it looks and feels like studio. Take action and implement your plan. Once you've developed the plan, you've evaluated it, you've developed it, you know how you're going to make money doing it, then you just got to put your foot on the gas and implement it. And then last, you want to regularly monitor your progress and continue to work towards making improvements. Again, nothing is perfect. When you started training or when you built your business the first time, it was not a perfect process. You had to learn different things. You had areas where things kind of rolled smoothly, and then you had areas where you had some bumps and you had to make some adjustments in order to continue. So it's being able to monitor where your successes and your challenges are, and being able to make those adjustments so that you're always moving forward and moving your virtual business forward. All right, now let's talk a little bit about earning potential. Now, these are 3 different examples of earning potential. We have one-way personal training, small group training, and live broadcast. So really quickly, let me give you just a quick breakdown between the 3, all right? So the first one, when we talk about a virtual environment, one-on-one personal training, that's where you can see the client and the client can see you. So you're able to do form correction and, you know, talk to them directly. They can talk to you as they're doing the exercises. You can make those adjustments, you know, with the client. So that's a very standard, basic one-on-one kind of personal training environment. Most studios have it. Most individual entrepreneurs provide it. So that's your one-on-one. Small group, that's similar to a small group personal training environment where it's like 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. Again, you're able to manage a small group, but you just have a few more people. So obviously those same type of adjustments that you would make with your client when you're doing a small group in person, it's the same in a virtual environment. Now keep in mind that you want to be mindful that your small groups have to stay small groups, because if you expand it too far in a virtual environment, then your virtual camera or view will start to degrade. The more pictures you have on the screen, the less the pixelation is clear, and pretty soon it's not really a small group training session anymore. It becomes more of a class. Now, for your classes, live broadcast is a better option because it's easier to scale. So like I said, you can have up to 250 people in a live broadcast streaming from anywhere around the world. It is definitely the area in which you would make the most money if your intent is to scale. So let's just take a look at the verticals really quick. So if we look at one-on-one, if you had 30 clients and you did 2 sessions a day, and you did 5 days a week, that's about 6 hours, and you charge $35 a session, your earning potential monthly is about $8,400, or roughly $100,000 a year. That's your potential with 30 personal training clients, right? Training, again, 2 times a day. The next one is going to be your small group training. Your small group training is if you did 1, and let's say our max is 6. That's what we recommend. We don't really recommend going higher than 6 in a small group personal training session, again, because of management and virtual view. Again, if you did 2 sessions a day, you trained 6 hours a week, and you did 6 days a week, then your potential earnings for that month or that year would be 103. Now, keep in mind, there are less classes that you will be facilitating, so you have the potential to make more. So if you looked at one-on-one, it was 6. If you looked at small group, it's only once a day. So the last one is the live broadcast. This is where you have the most earning potential. So if you had 30 clients, you did 3 sessions a day, you did 7.5 hours a week. Then if we scroll down, you have the ability to make roughly $18,000 a month, or $216,000 per year. And just to put it in context, we have a client on our system right now that makes roughly $100,000 a month, not a year, a month, doing broadcast sessions. So they have anywhere from 100 to 300 clients in a single broadcast session, and they teach 4 classes a day. So if you think about the potential there, that's where you can really scale. It is difficult to scale in a 2-way environment because you're limited to how many people you can have on the screen. The broadcast is by far the quickest way to scale. All right, so those are potential earnings that you can make within the Jimgo platform. All right, so to recap on my portion, you can start making money with your virtual fitness studio today by joining the platform. Low expense and potential high revenue, depending upon which one you choose. You can retain your member base and increase your market share with virtual workouts that are done at home. So again, it limits the amount of logistics that you have to worry about because you can reach just about anyone, and anyone can be referred to you. Jimgo offers the same capabilities as having a brick and mortar business with even more flexibility. So again, it is a separate profit center that allows you to do a lot more. All right, so you don't have the overhead expense, but you still have the ability to increase your business potential. So, all right, so now I know here it says Q&A, but what I am going to do is I am going to turn this over. Give me 1 second. To Sandra, and she is going to start the second portion of our presentation. So with that said, Lysandra.
Hello, hi everyone. Can you guys hear me okay, or is there too much background noise? Donovan, is it okay?
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna take you guys through a demo. Now, I think all of you have been through a demo already, either with myself or with my coworker Liesel. And I know that Aaron, if you're still on here, you were your demo was back in March. So we've had a lot of changes since then. But I'll kind of go through, and at the end, if you guys have any questions, I'll give you a chance to answer those. But basically, I'm going to talk about how Jimgo is a complete online training solution and coaching solution, and we're going to go through all the different features that allow you to run your business and do your online training. So the first part that I'm going to go over is the client experience. You see a couple of screenshots here. This is what your client portal will look like. You do have the ability to customize it, so you can customize the colors, add your own logo and your own business name. But it's an all-in-one place where your clients can go to sign up for classes, purchase their packages and memberships if you have them available, join their live classes, and purchase and view video content. You can also add waivers to your classes so that every time a client signs up for a class, they either have to sign the waiver for the first time or they get reminded that they did sign it already. Here's a couple of more screenshots. We have the instructor page where you can list all of your instructors, and you do get multiple instructors available with your with your accounts. You also have a video store. The video store allows you to create and sell content. And the content can be videos, it can be PDFs that you upload, it can be images. But you're able to, sell packages and memberships on this portal, as well as any usage as far as live sessions that your clients join will be tracked and their attendance will be tracked. And your clients will also be notified when they need to purchase again, because if they purchase a package, for example, and they use all of their sessions, before they sign up for their next session, the system will prompt them to make that next purchase. Okay, so now I'm going to jump back over to the instructor side. So this is your instructor dashboard where you would set up all of your accounts. And what I'm showing you here is the account settings page. And in account settings, you're going to be able to customize your app like I just showed you. You can invite instructors and users. So we have multiple trainer logins. So everybody that's using your platform can have their own login. And you're able to restrict what roles they have. So right now we have 3 different roles where that give different access to being able to join their live sessions, create their own sessions on the calendar, as well as a calendar manager role who can manage the entire calendar. You are able to add, oh, sorry, Donovan, can you go back one? You're able to add client fees. So if you want to pass on some of the credit card processing fees to your client, you can set up those fees in account settings. And then when you create your packages and memberships, you're just going to add those fees in. You can add a bank account in account settings for your payouts. And then you also want to complete the legal verification process on the legal tab if you're going to be accepting any payments from your clients. And then the final thing that we have that's a new feature for us is Zoom integration. We now allow, if you're on our Amplify plan, that you can integrate with a paid Zoom account. And this will allow you to train as many clients as you want in that open environment. I know a lot of people are really liking the Zoom. They like to have that community feeling where everybody can see each other. So it just gives you another option if you're interested in doing something like that. Okay, so the client manager, basically this allows you to review client attendance records, assign and unassigned purchase details to sessions. You can leave session notes for your clients. You can review any forms that they've submitted. You can add a credit or a debit to a client's account, review their billing info. You can add and archive clients here. So if you want to clean up your client list, you're able to do that. And then you can also export a client list that will export any details that they have about packages and memberships that they have purchased. Okay, so inside the client manager, you have the client billing tab. Under the client billing tab, you can review your purchased packages or the purchased packages and memberships for that specific client. You can cancel, change a billing date, or hold a membership if you need to. You can also add third-party payment records. So if you don't want to use our payment system, or if you just have a certain client that likes to pay cash or they pay you Venmo or PayPal, you can just come in here, add a third-party payment record, and then it will add a credit to their account. But anyway, everything you can do on this client billing tab all has to do with the client billing info and reviewing that information. Okay, so additional client info, you're able to see inside the client manager if they have a credit or a debit on their account. You can see if they've tested their device to use JimGo. So if it's their first session is coming up and you want to make sure that they're ready to go, you can come in here, send them the device test, and then you'll actually see the results of that test, whether they passed or failed, or their device passed or failed. You would be able to see any documents that they've signed, waivers and contracts, things like that you've provided to them. You can also view the client attendance tab and see every class that they've ever reserved a spot for. You'll be able to see whether they attended or if they were a no-show or if they canceled. And then you can see what class or what package or membership was assigned for that specific class that they were taking. Okay, so the next page I'm going to take you to here is the client billing page. And with client billing is where you would create your packages and memberships, create discount codes to go with those packages and memberships. You can purchase packages or memberships for clients on your end, or they can do it from the client portal as well. And then you can review and export client billing activity from the client billing page as well. So client billing, this is the dashboard that you see here. This is how you would export that list. You just get to choose a date range, and then you click download. You'll get an export or an Excel spreadsheet exported, which you can then organize however you need to. On the packages and memberships tab, this is actually an example up at the top here of the memberships tab where you can create a membership, start a membership for a client, or create a discount for a membership. And then what you see down below is package details page. So if you were to go to the package tab, click into one of your packages, you get to see the details. You can edit and make changes. You can also assign specific service items to those packages. And now your service items are the classes that you schedule on your calendar. And that's how you attach your packages and your memberships or your purchasing options to your classes, so that when a client goes to take a specific class, the system will know to look for that package or membership and make sure that they have it available. These are all guided workflows, so we make it really simple. You click, create a membership, and it guides you through the entire process of getting that created. Okay, we're going to head over to calendar. So on the calendar, it allows you to create and edit those service categories, create and edit service items, which are those class types I just talked about. You can add locations, so you can use the calendar to create in-person training as well as your online classes. You can schedule your live online classes, join your live online classes from this calendar, and then you can also export an attendance list. So this is an example of a calendar that's full. Again, you click on the calendar and it gives you a guided workflow to create the session, so it's very simple. You can color code all of your service types or your different class types to help you look at the calendar. You can filter the calendar by instructor, service type, or location if that helps you, go through your classes. And then you can also click into the session to view the class details page. So here's an example of a class details page. So on this page, you can see the attendance, who's signed up for your class. If the class is passed, it'll show you who attended. And if this was an online class, that attended checkbox automatically gets checked off for you. If you were doing a live in person, you would have to come in and check off who attended on your end. It would also show you, if those clients that were signed up for the class had a membership or package available that they were paying with, so you would know what that was coming from. You can also send a message to the entire class. So if you are going in before a class or it's a couple hours before and you want to send a quick message to everybody, you send message. It's an email that they get, and it's one simple message that you have to send. You can also, you don't see this on here, but a new feature that we have is the ability to leave notes for your clients. So after a class, you can come in and leave individual notes for each client. And these notes can be either visible to the client on the client side, or you can keep them just for your records. You can also edit the class details on this page if you need to change anything about the class. You have a reservation link, so if you want to send a reservation link or share it on Facebook to try and get people to sign up for class, you can do that. And then when you're ready to join the session, you're actually going to go enter video preview area, which is in the top right corner, and that's how you would go to join your live session. So this is the video preview area. Once you click that, it takes you to this page where you can make sure that your camera and your microphone are working, and you can choose to record the instructor from here if you want to. It'll tell you how many credits the session is going to use. And then when you're ready, you can just click join session now, and it pops you right into the session. So now I'm going to move on inside the calendar page under the service items tab. This is where you're going to add and edit your services. Services are just categories of training that you offer. It could be just one, maybe personal training, or it could be several. You can create new service items here, which are those class types. You can view and edit the service item details. You can view check-in and cancellations by service item. So that's a cool little feature. If you want to see how well a class is doing, you just go to the service item and you can see that information. You can also assign packages and memberships to your service items from this page, just like you can from the packages and memberships page. And you can attach your waivers and other documents that need signatures in the service items tab. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Media Hub, and the Media Hub is all about video recordings and sharing those videos on demand. So your Media Hub is where all of your video files are stored, as well as any PDFs that you upload or images that you upload. So you have the ability to view and share any live session recordings. So if you record your live sessions, you can upload and share pre-recorded videos, PDFs, images, like I said. You can share files, whether it's video files or PDFs, via memberships or packages. So if you have a live session that you record, you can go in there. Anyone who has signed up for that session will automatically get access to the recording, which you can remove access if you want. But you can also add access to people who have a specific membership or package. You can just say, I want the unlimited video membership to get access to this video. You add it, and then you'll be able to share that with your clients. Okay, so this is an example on the left where you would see your video files. You can click into those, and that takes you to the next screenshot that you see on the right, which is where you can download your video if you want to store that on your device. You can assign access via those packages and memberships, assign access to individual clients, send an invitation email. So you can click send invite. Anyone who has access will get an email that you can customize with your own special message. And you can also update the title description of the videos here and add a cover photo so that when your clients see that on their side, it looks really nice and professional. So the other one that I don't have it on here, but I just want to let you guys know really quick is, aside from the Media Hub, we also have the video store or the media store. And the media store is where you can create content for sale. So we talked about in the Media Hub how you can share those videos and files via membership or individually with clients. But in the media store, you can actually take all of your files that you have, whether it's videos or PDFs or images, you can put those into a product that you want to sell or even rent out for a certain amount of time. You can do a lot with that. It could be, maybe you want to sell or rent an individual video. Maybe you want to bundle a package of 3 videos together and sell that. Maybe you want to do a program. So you could do a 6-week program, for example, where they get, certain videos dispersed throughout those 6 weeks, and you can decide when you want those videos released to them. So you can do a lot with that, and you can set your own pricing, and your clients then have access to that through the video store on the client page. So going on to this page, this is client forms. So you do have the ability to create fillable forms. You just create the questions, add them to a form, and that gives you a link. And that link you would share with your clients. That takes them to their client portal where they can complete the form and submit it to you. So it's all done electronically, very simple. Now we have the Communications Hub, and the Communications Hub is an automated email communication system. So you can create emails that will go out when a client does something specific. You just basically set up the triggers and the rules for that email, and then it could be when they create an account, when they book a session, they'll automatically get that email. You can send emails before or after something happens. So if you want to send a reminder before class, or even a survey after class, maybe you could do that. You can send an email, create an email that's going to go out on a specific date at a specific time, whether it's a promotional email, holiday closure message, letting clients know about a new class that's coming up. These messages can also be text messages or web app notifications, so it's not just emails. And then that brings us to the JimGo pricing. I think a lot of you have already finished your trial. Definitely reach out to me if you're interested in trying the platform again. But if you are ready to purchase, you can always go to that drop-down menu next to your name in the upper right corner, and you can see all of our pricing options there, and you can sign up for the membership that you want. Of course, if you do want to talk about which membership might be best for your needs, we're always available. Just reach out to us. There's a chat feature in the bottom right corner, and we'd be happy to get on a call with you and talk about your business and what we think would be the best place for you to start. And that's all I have. So I think I'm going to open it up to questions. I know it looks like somebody came on a little bit late, so you just kind of hit the tail end, but we do have a recording that's going to go out, so you can see the whole webinar through that recording once that is emailed. But right now I'll take questions if anyone has questions. Maybe we'll go one at a time. We can start with Terry.
Yeah, if you could actually go over just the usage of credits. I had a question previously. I really just don't fully understand how it works.
Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. I'm sure everybody has that question. So credits basically are a way to pay for your live streaming. So when you do live streaming, you're using a certain amount of minutes, and that's based on, how long is your session? Is it interactive, two-way where you can see your clients, or is it one-way? One-way doesn't use as many credits, or sorry, as many minutes. And then it's going to depend on how many clients you have. So you're using, say you're doing a 30-minute class. If you have 5 clients in that class, you have to multiply that by 5 because you have, 5 streams going back and forth. But basically, as an example, if you were to do, it's 5 credits per minute. So if I break this down and you were to do a 30-minute interactive session, that's going to be 300 credits per client. Okay. Now, if it was a broadcast, which is the one way, it's going to be 150 credits per client for that 30 minutes. So the way that our plans work is it's almost like an old school cell phone plan where you have a certain amount of minutes on your plan, and then if you use those, you end up paying for more. Ours doesn't really just charge you though. The way that ours works is you get a certain amount of credits with your plan. If you use all those up and you still have, a week of training to do, basically the system won't let you continue with your classes until you purchase additional credits. So we won't just charge your card. It'll be something that you actively have to go in and purchase those additional credits. And you'll know how many classes you have and how many clients are signed up for those classes. And it will actually tell you on that video preview page exactly how many credits you'll need to complete the class. Does that answer your question, Terry?
It does. And the analogy of the old school calling plan actually helped quite a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I can chime in also, and just to give you an FYI, so because we also offer Zoom integration, there is an opportunity for you if you want to do the two-way environment, if that's really your preferred method. You can do two-way integration through our Zoom option, and then you really don't have to worry about the credits. It's just the cost of the monthly fee. So that's a way for you to be able to utilize Zoom without worrying about the credits, but still be able to utilize all the features that are necessary in order for you to manage your client load and business. So.
Yeah, and a couple of things on that too, to build on top of that is you could also run a hybrid model where you're using Zoom for some of your public sessions where you want everyone to see each other, but then maybe you want to do some broadcast sessions as well, as you saw that you can make, pretty good money doing that. You would still have 55,000 credits with that plan that you could use towards any other sessions that you want to do, like broadcast or the one-on-one private streaming through our platform. And then also, if you were using Zoom integration, it works exactly the same as using our platform. So you still create the class through the GymGo calendar. You don't have to send a link. Your clients still go to the client page. They can purchase there. They can sign up there. They join their live class right from there. So it still makes everything really easy. And attendance is tracked, which is really nice. The only difference really would be the video recording. You would have to record through Zoom versus recording through live on our platform. Terry, did you have any other questions?
No, you guys covered it. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, Major, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask right now? I'm going to assume no.
Yes, I do have a question.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, my question is, what type of equipment would I need to set up my studio? Could you answer that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I can actually send you some information on that. I have several emails that we've just started creating with documents on information. So I'll get those all out to you. It'll be maybe like 3 or 4 different emails. But basically, you could do it as simple as you have a laptop with a built-in camera and a built-in microphone. That would work. But if you want it to be a little bit better quality, you could have your laptop and then you could add an external camera. You could add an external microphone. You could add a mixer to play music through your computer and make it sound really professional. So there's a lot you can do, but it just depends on basically your budget and kind of what you're working with. And we can definitely help you with that if you wanted to. Like I said, I'm going to send you some emails so you can respond to those emails and let us know any questions you have after reviewing the information. And I don't know, Donovan, if you want to speak up to that as well.
Yeah, no, you summed it up perfectly. And again, it's really just a function of, what your capacity is now versus where you want to go. It's the whole adage that you got to kind of spend money to make money. So if the intent is for you to create that separate profit center, then you do want to invest in this as the same way you would a brick and mortar. It costs a lot less, but in the long run, your ability to provide a quality experience for your client is the most important thing. So they should always see a clear video of you, whether it's live or the video you provide, and they should always have a clear interactive experience. So keep those things in mind, because remember, in a virtual environment, you're competing with everything else. So you're competing with YouTube, and you're competing with Facebook Live and all these other options out there. But again, you are creating a business around this. So because you are doing that, you want to make sure that you are investing accordingly in your business model. So that's why it's important to Los Angeles to, there's where you are now, and then there's where you want to be. So if you want to start simple, you can, but I definitely recommend expanding your technology as you start to grow as a virtual platform.
Yeah, and I just was thinking, even more important than the equipment would probably be your internet connection. That's going to be the most important piece. You have to have a good, strong internet connection. And there's a lot we can help you with that as well if if you have issues with your internet connection. But the first place you probably want to start is calling your provider. I mean, this isn't just for you, Major. I mean, this could be for anybody who's listening. But call your provider, make sure they're offering you, the best that they can. And you might have to pay a little bit more to get that best service, but that's really going to make a difference in your live sessions. Did you have any other questions, Major?
No, thank you. That was my question. Thanks.
I do.
Perfect. Okay, and then go ahead, Terry.
So the information sent to Major, will that be sent to everyone else as well? Because it's really good. Or just to Major, the information.
I can send it to everyone. I don't know, Rib, I was going to ask you next if you had any questions, and if you would like those emails as well, I can definitely send them out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you have any questions, Rib?
Your mic is muted, so I'm not sure if you realize that or not. Not you, Lysandra, but Rib.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm not sure if they have their mic muted, but I can send the emails, and then again, if you have any questions. Oh, it looks like he just joined again. Hello, Rib?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, that'd be
That's
fine.
okay.
It's Rob. Rob. Yeah, I misspelled my name.
Rob,
It's
okay.
Rob.
Sorry, I was like, that's an interesting name, but okay, I'm going with it.
I was trying to hurry up.
Did you have any questions before we jump off of the meeting?
We're having some trouble hearing you, Rob.
Oh, no, I don't have anything.
No, okay, perfect. Would you like me to send you those emails with the equipment and everything as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So
Yes.
I will get those emails sent out in just a little bit. And if anyone has other questions that they think of, feel free to respond to that email. And everybody should also be getting a copy, a video recorded copy of the demo too.
Okay.
Otherwise, that's all I have. So Donovan, did you have anything else to close with?
No, I just wanted to say again, thank you guys for spending your Saturday morning with us. Obviously, we know there's a lot of things you could be doing, but we do appreciate you making us an option and learning a little bit about the virtual space. And the last thing I'll leave you with is right now you guys are on this call because, again, you have interest in expanding into the virtual environment, or you're already in it and you want to really know how to make it work for you. So keep in mind that everything that we talked about from a business standpoint is going to be very important to your growth. So make sure that you are committed to the virtual growth of your business. And I promise you that if you are, you will see the returns that you're looking for, in addition to being able to help people, which is obviously our most, our biggest goal. But you will see those returns, because in a virtual environment, I'm speaking from experience. It's inevitable. The growth potential through referral is astronomical as long as you commit to it. So those are the last things I'm going to leave you with. If you're committing to this as a business vertical, then truly commit to it as a business, and you will definitely be successful. So that's all I have, guys. Thank you all for attending, and if you have any questions, please reach out to our support, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of those. And Sandra will get that information out to you. And with that said, have a wonderful weekend, and stay safe, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.